Welcome to class. Okay. Welcome to class, everyone. Hello, my name is Jason Gorenstein. This is our Hatha Yoga Level 1-2 class. This is a moderate level class for students and yogis. So if you guys are finding this for the first time, thank you guys so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. As I share with everyone, all of these classes are live streaming on Facebook. So if you are finding this class on any other platform, please find your way over to Facebook at Yoga with Jason G. Reason it's at Yoga with Jason G is because I couldn't get the handle at Yoga with Jason, so that's why it's at Yoga with Jason G. Hope that you guys are having a wonderful day today and having a really nice, happy Friday. We're going to find our way into constructive rest pose. So without further ado, and I join you guys throughout the class, so please feel free to practice with me as well as we begin our practice together. Okay. So we'll begin in a pose called constructive rest pose. So how do you get there? You take your knees, you bring your knees to a bent position, you close your eyes, and you allow the breath to become long and slow here. And if at some point I need to let the dog out, I may need to let the dog out. So I'm just giving you guys a hindsight of that in advance. So as you continue to breathe here, just let the breath be long and slow. Lengthen the tailbone towards the heels. Release the shoulder blades down the spine. And begin to feel the navel hugging in towards the belly here. This is called constructive rest. Typically, we can actually take constructive rest for some time because our legs are in internal rotation, and it allows for the backs of our hips to have some space here. So it's often a nice pose to take as we begin to build space in between our hips and allow for our body to rest here. So from here, you're going to begin to draw your right knee into the chest. So hug the right knee in, and as you hug the right knee in, we find our way into Apanasana pose. This is Apanasana pose. It's just a single leg drawing in towards the right shoulder. The right foot is flexed here, and you're lengthening the right outer hip away from you. The right knee draws in towards the right shoulder, and you're pressing down through the left ball of the foot here. Good, and as you exhale, release that right foot on down. Hug the left knee into the chest now. So the left knee hugs into the chest. Draw the left knee towards the left shoulder. Press down through the right ball of the foot. Continue to breathe here as you draw both elbows down towards the side ribs. So continue to lengthen here. See that the left outer hip is moving away from you as you continue to draw in through the chest. Good, and as you exhale here, releasing that left leg on down. Once again, we're going to draw the right knee into the chest here. Hug that right knee in. As you exhale, you're going to take your right foot over the top of the left thigh. Press your right thigh away from you. If you'd like, take your hands behind the back of the left leg and begin to draw the left knee in towards the chest. The back of the left body is growing long here. The right toes are flexed. See that those left toes are flexed as well. And continue to breathe as you press the outer right hip away. So creating some space in the hips here. Good. And as you feel ready, you're going to draw the left knee into the chest. The right foot comes down to the mat. Right knee is bent. Take the left foot, place the left foot over the top of the right thigh, and draw the left outer hip in. As you draw the left outer hip in, flex across the right toes. See that the left knee is drawing away from you. See that you're lengthening through the backs of both waists here. So flex through that left foot this time and continue to breathe. As you exhale, lower that right foot down, lower the left foot down, and begin to hug both knees into the chest. From here, float both legs up towards the ceiling. Internally rotate through those legs. So what that means is you're going to take your hands behind the backs of the legs. You're literally going to draw the flesh of the leg away towards the buttocks as you draw the heels in. So this is a very interesting action. The inner legs are drawing back while the heels are moving away. So that lets the outer hips move in. Now inhale, begin to peel the chest on up, raise up through the belly, and take the arms up towards the ceiling. So Urdhva Hastasana arms. Now this is like dead bug pose. And then take the arms up and over the head here. As you lengthen the arms up over the head, lower the legs down to about an inch off the floor and hug the belly in. So firm that belly in. Keep lengthening through the arms. Keep breathing in. Draw the legs up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the arms. So once again, take the hands behind the backs of the knees and begin to draw the sense of those legs away from you. That's it. Okay. So from here, once again, you're going to take the arms up and over the head. And if you need to, you can always bend the knees here. This is a more moderate variation. You could bend the knees here and take this variation of the pose. Still in a very nice active pose for the legs and the feet. Maybe extend those legs fully forward here as you draw that belly in. Once again, knees or legs lift up, arms lift up. So if your knees are bent, just bend those knees back in. One more time. Arms come over the head, legs come over the head, lengthen here, hold and pause. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Begin to rock those legs forwards and backwards until eventually you find your way up onto your hands and your knees. As you find your way onto your hands and your knees, spread across the fingers here. Begin to see that the knees are right underneath the hips. As you spread across the fingers, wrap those outer triceps in. Firm the belly in here and continue to lengthen through the sternum. On the next breath, inhale, begin to float the right leg towards the back of the mat. As you do so, spin that right outer hip down so the right toes begin to face the floor. Belly draws in. Press down through the fingers here, engage the belly, and now begin to float the left arm up and forward. As you spread across the fingers here, engage the belly and allow the chest to lengthen. Left arm all the way to the right foot. As you exhale, lower the left palm down. Lower the right knee down. So again, before we even lift up, spread the fingers wide apart. Firm the outer arms in. Plug the navel in towards the spine and begin to float your left leg back. So as you float the left leg back, a couple of things happen. The left hip starts to turn out into external rotation. Can you keep that left hip neutral? Can you draw the right outer buttocks in towards the plumb line of the body? And from here, as you press down through the left palm, inhale, float the right arm up. So look down towards the ground, hug that belly in, and continue to draw the navel in towards the spine as you breathe here. As you exhale, lower that right palm down, lower the left knee down, and find your way back into tabletop pose. Okay, so adding on here, spreading across the fingers, firming that belly in, thighs drawing back. Inhale, float that right leg back, and begin to float the left arm forward. Okay, one more time. Spread across the fingers here. See that left shin is pressing down. See that left arm is extending. Now, bend the left elbow to 90 degrees. The left elbow is in line with the left shoulder. And then bend the right knee to 90 degrees. So see that you're pressing through the right palm. See that the left calf's drawing down. Hug that belly in. Right knee out to the side, left arm out to the side. Maybe extending left arm and right leg out. I don't have enough room at the wall to do this. And then back to center. Extend the left arm forward, the right leg back. Exhale, releasing left palm down, releasing right knee down. Good. And again, I'll show you guys from the center of the room. Okay, and again, as you spread across the fingers here, begin to take, I'll move into it in a second. Begin to take the left leg back this time and begin to take the right leg forward. Good. Before even we begin, I forgot to mention this on the other side. Begin to rotate that left foot into external rotation. So the left leg starts to rotate out. Good. Press down through the right calf. Press down through the left palm. Firm the right outer hip in. Bend that right elbow. Bend the left knee. So the left knee lines up with the left hip. The right elbow lines up with the right shoulder. And maybe begin to extend that left leg out as you extend the right arm out. Draw that knee back and in. Release that leg on down. And as you feel ready, float the thighs up. Downward facing dog pose. So as you take downward facing dog pose, release the head on down here and breathe. Spread across the fingers. See that the feet are at least hips width distance apart. And release the head down towards the mat. Lift the inner forearms up. Wrap the outer triceps in. And continue to lengthen those hip bones back towards the back of the mat. Walk the fingers back towards the feet. And as you do so, inhale, begin to peel up the chest, heart, and the sternum. As you exhale here, release the head on down. Now take your hands. Interlace your fingers behind the back. See that the elbows are drawing in towards each other. Inhale, begin to float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. Wrap the outer arms in Paschimma Baddha. See that the collarbones are spread wide apart. Feel the belly hugging in here. And as you exhale, lower those hands back down to the mat and walk back into downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose once again. Good. Downward facing dog pose, spread across the fingers. Lift the inner forearms up. Inhale, float the right leg back. See that you're high up onto the left ball of the foot. Spin that right hip down. Hug the right knee into the chest here. Round the spine and step your right foot in between your hands as you release the left knee down. Float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. Lengthen through the chest, lengthen through the heart, lengthen through the sternum. And as you exhale, plant those hands back down on the mat. Walk the right toes out to the right. Take your right hand, place your right hand on the top of the right thigh. Place your left hand down underneath your left shoulder. As you press the right thigh down, begin to turn your chest up towards the ceiling. So the left scapula begins to smooth down towards the inner shoulder as you float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Hug the right outer hip in. Breathe here. And as you exhale, lower that hand on down. From here, float the right leg back again. Shift forward into plank pose. Take your right leg. So you're in plank. Take your right knee, bend it, and lift your right toes up towards the ceiling. That's it. Exhale, lower that right foot down to the mat. Lower the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Walk the fingers back so that the fingers hug against the outer ribs. Allow the elbows to draw in towards the shoulder. Allow the elbows to draw in towards the wrist. Feel the tops of the fingers pressing down. Imagine that you could drag the back of the mat towards the front of the room as you begin to peel up the chest. As you exhale, lower that head down. Tuck the toes underneath. Press down through the toes. Press down through the knees. Float the thighs on back. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose again. Float that left leg up. Come high up onto the right ball of the foot. Left knee into chest, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, extending that left leg and back. Once again, left knee draws forward, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, extending that left leg on back. One more time. Left knee forward, shoulders over wrist. Step the left foot in between the hands. Press back through the right heel. You have the option of lowering that left leg down or right leg down to the mat. If you'd like, inhale, begin to press through that right leg. Float the arms up towards the ceiling for lunge pose. As you exhale here, glide those hands back down to the mat. Step your right leg forward up, L-shaped pose, and release your right foot down to meet your left foot. Inhale, floating up halfway here. Exhale, hinging and folding. Take the hands, interlace the fingers behind the back. If you can remember the cross, take the goofy cross this time. Draw the elbows in to face each other. Begin to peel the chest on up and float the arms up and over the head here. See that the outer arms begin to rotate in towards the inner arms. Hug the belly in. Feel the belly drawing in towards the spine. Wrap the outer arms in here. Very good. As you exhale, take the hands down to the hips. Press down through the feet. Release the hands down the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the chest. So as you exhale, you're going to lift that right leg up again. And you're going to step the right leg back as you release the left knee down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling as we come into lunge pose. As you exhale, glide those hands down to the mat. Take your left hand to the top of the left thigh. Walk your left foot out. See that your right hand is directly underneath the right shoulder. Feel the left hip plugging in towards the pelvis. Allow the chest to begin to revolve towards the ceiling. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling here. So continue to draw that left outer hip in. Continue to spin the chest on up as you breathe here. As you exhale, glide your left foot back to center. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest. Exhale, begin to step your left leg back to meet the right leg at the back of the mat. Shift forward into plank pose. This time, float that left leg up, bend that left knee, and lift the left heel up towards the ceiling. Very good. As you exhale, lower that left foot down. Lower the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Walk the hands on back. See that the hands are hugging against the sides of the ribs. Allow the elbows to draw in towards the wrists. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest. Imagine that you could spread the collarbones wide apart as you begin to draw the shoulder blades in towards the center chest here. That's it. As you exhale, begin to press down through the feet. Float the thighs back. Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog pose. Good. Downward facing dog pose once again. You're going to begin to float the right leg up this time. The right knee comes into the chest, shoulders over wrists, round that spine. Inhale, floating that right leg on back. As you exhale, right chest, shoulders over wrists, once again, rounding through the spine. Inhale, floating that leg up one more time. Knee to chest, shoulders over wrists, rounding the spine, stepping the right foot in between the hands. This time, you can keep that left leg lifted and begin to take the arms to the sides. Inhale, float the arms up and over the head. Lunge pose. As you feel ready here, take your hands, place them down to either sides of the mat. Step your left leg forward to meet your... No, lift that left leg up. My apologies. Lift the left leg up and keep lengthening through the chest. As you exhale here, now glide the left foot down to the hands. Inhale, lengthening through the sternum. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana arms. As you exhale, glide the arms out and to the sides. Inhale, float the arms up and above the head. As you exhale, hinge and fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, heart and the sternum. As you take the hands down to the mat, walk the feet back and find your way into plank pose. Plank pose, you have the option of lowering the knees down. Inhale, moving up through Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale, pressing back through Downward Facing Dog. Or shifting forward into plank, bending those elbows halfway, pause. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, floating on back for Downward Facing Dog pose. Spreading across those fingers as you breathe here. From here, looking in between the hands. Strolling your right knee into the chest, shoulders over wrists, stepping your right foot in the hands. Spin the left heel down. Firm the right outer buttocks in. And as you press down through the feet, float the arms out to the sides, Warrior Two pose. Warrior Two pose, bending deeply into that right knee and allowing the arms to spread from the center chest. Allow the left fingers to lengthen to the left. Allow the right arm to lengthen to the right. So as we move dynamically in this pose, turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, float the arms up to face one another. Keep the chest parallel with the sides of the room. As you exhale, bending deeply into that right knee and spreading it across the fingers. Inhale, floating those arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bending through that right knee and taking the arms out to the sides. One more time. Inhale, floating those arms up towards the ceiling. Palms face one another. And as you exhale, Fingers out to the sides. Now take your right forearm and place your right forearm on your right thigh crease. Left hand comes to the left hip. Keep bending into that right knee. So the right calf is moving towards the right shin. Right thigh is moving towards the right outer thigh is revolving in. That's it. Keep pressing into that left pinky toe side of the foot. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling here. Spin through the upper arm. Press through the left ball of the foot and begin to lengthen your left arm up and over the head as you move into extended side angle pose. Keep revolving the chest up towards the ceiling as you spin the left fingers down to the mat. Inhale, float that left arm up. Glide the left arm up and out of the pose. Warrior two. Warrior two, begin to straighten through the right leg one more time. And as you bend through that right knee, turn the left palm up towards the ceiling and bring both palms down to the mat. Step your right leg back to meet the left leg at the back of the mat. Shift forward into plank pose. You can obviously stay in downward facing dog if you'd like. Lower chest down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest and the sternum here. Exhale, floating those sides back as you move into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog pose, stepping the left foot in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. See that the left heel lines up with the right arch of the foot. Feel the left outer hip hugging in. Arms extend out to the sides as you find your way into Warrior Two pose. So Warrior Two pose, bending deeply in through that left knee, gliding that right arm back, and seeing if you can hug the belly in towards the spine. From Warrior Two pose, we're going to begin to move dynamically. So turn the palms up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, raise the arms up and press through the left ball of the foot to straighten the left leg. As you exhale, bend deeply into that left knee. Arms come back out to the sides. Palms to the ceiling. Inhale, floating those arms up. As you exhale, glide those arms out to the sides. One more time. Inhale, floating those arms up. Palms face one another. As you exhale, gliding those arms out to the sides. Left forearm comes to the top of the left thigh. Right arm extends up towards the ceiling here. Continue to press down through the right pinky toe side of the foot. Firm the left buttocks in. Glide the right hand back to the back of the room. Spin the right palm down to the floor. Inhale, float the right arm up through the right shoulder. Keep bending deeply into that left knee. Hug the left buttocks in. Spin the chest up towards the ceiling and look towards those right fingers. That's it. Inhale, float that right arm back up. Let the right arm lift us up and out of the pose for Warrior Two. Warrior Two, turn the right fingers to face the ceiling. Windmill your hands down to the mat. Step your left leg back. You can stay in downward facing dog, or if you'd like, move forward, halfway down, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. So as you look forward in between your hands, one more time, step the right foot forward in between the hands and spin that left heel down. As you firm the right buttocks in, inhale, float the arms up and out to the sides for Warrior Two pose. Warrior Two pose, straighten through that right leg. And from here, begin to hinge at that right hip. As you hinge at that right hip, begin to lengthen your right side chest forward. That's it. Release the right palm down. Take the left arm up and extend the left palm up towards the ceiling. Left fingers up towards the ceiling. Press through the right ball of the foot. Firm the right buttocks in. And as you press through the left pinky toe side of the foot, drive the left thigh back. Good. Continue to create length through the right side of the chest as you draw the right scapula down the spine. Take the left hand and place it on the left hip crease. As you bend deeply into that right knee, begin to take the right hand outside of the leg. Step your left foot in. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, float that left leg up. Spin the left heel down. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling as you breathe here. Keep pressing through the left ball of the foot. Keep lengthening through the left side of the chest. As you exhale, bend into that right knee. Left hand to left hip. Softly release that foot on down. Triangle pose. And from triangle pose, inhale, lift it up. 1 second, I have to let the dog out. Okay, so from triangle pose, continue to breathe here. I'm sorry, we already lifted up. So from here, take your hands onto your hips. And we're just going to shift over to the other side of the pose. So no need to refold ourselves back down into it. You're going to spin your left toes out to the left side. Good. Left heel tracks with the right arch of the foot. Left foot is parallel with the sides of the mat. As you breathe, lengthen your left arm forward. Hinge at that left hip. Glide the right arm back. So keep lengthening left arm forward, right arm back. Release the left palm right underneath the left shoulder. Take the right arm up and extend the right arm up from the center chest. Press through the balls of the feet. Firm the outer thighs in and begin to engage your belly here. Wrap your left trapezius muscle in. Keep lengthening up through those right fingers. As you breathe here, take the right hand, place the right hand on the right hip crease. Look down towards that left foot. As you bend deeply into that left knee, take the left hand outside of the leg. Step your right foot in, step the left hand forward, and as you inhale, begin to float your right leg up. Now turn the right outer heel down, firm the left outer hip in, and as you breathe here, lengthen through those right fingers. Keep lifting through the chest, the heart, the sternum here. And as you exhale, begin to bend that left knee and lower that right leg on down. Once again, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, floating that arm up. Hands come to the hips once again. Take your hands, place your hands right behind your back. Inhale, begin to peel the chest on up. So even before we move here, see that the fingers are interlaced, see that the elbows are hugging in towards one another. And as the elbows hug in towards one another, begin to draw the elbows, or begin to draw the shoulders, collarbones down the spine. Now lean on forward. See that that belly keeps hugging in. Begin to peel the chest forward, peel the chest forward, peel the chest forward. Inhale, float the arms up and over the head. Wrap those outer triceps in. Continue to hug the belly in towards the spine. Continue to release the continue to release the chest all the way down towards the mat. Breathe in here. Continue to feel the engagement of those thighs and the hamstrings. Belly is engaged here. Chest is lengthening. Eyes are soft. Inhale. Begin to float the arms back and up. And placing your hands back down onto your hips. Very good. Spin both feet over to the right side of the room once again. See that your right heel is in line with your right hip. See that your left heel is in line with your left hip. Bend deeply into this right knee. There you go. Inhale, take the arms up and over the head. So as you continue to breathe here, straighten through that left leg. Now take your left hand, place it on your left back, left shoulder. Take your right hand, spin it back behind you, and draw your right hand up the back. So if you cannot grab hold of your hands, what I would recommend doing is grabbing hold of a strap here. Taking a strap and placing it directly over the left shoulder. It's fine if it's a long strap. I think the straps are about 6 to 8 feet long. Grab hold of that strap. Press through the right ball of the foot. Draw the right outer hip back. Press through the left pinky toe side of the foot. Draw the left hip forward. Glide the left elbow forward towards that right foot. Press through the right ball of the foot. Draw the right outer hip back and breathe here. The belly is engaged. The spine continues to lengthen. This is called Parsvottanasana with Gomukhasana arms, cow face arms. As you inhale here, begin to lengthen the chest up again and release the strap on down. Bend deeply into that right knee and inhale, float your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. As you exhale here, glide the hands down to the mat. Spin onto the ball of your left foot. Once again, inhale, lift the left leg up. Walk the hands forward and see that the hands come directly underneath the shoulders. Come onto your fingers. See that the fingers press down, spread across the fingers here. Now wrap the outer arms in. Breathe in through the belly and see if you can just lean the chest forward and lift up high onto the heel of your right, or high onto the ball of your right foot, and draw that heel on down. High up onto the ball of your right foot, draw that right heel on down. One more time, high up onto the ball of the right foot, draw that heel on down. Place your left hand directly next to your right leg. Inhale, peeling up the chest here. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling. Bend those knees, Utkatasana chair pose. And as you feel ready, straightening through those legs and releasing the arms down and out to the sides. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana arms. As you exhale, forward fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. And as you exhale, walking those feet back, finding your way into an upward push-up pose. Ardha Chaturanga Dandasana. Release the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes here. So take your hands and begin to place your hands behind the back. Fingers are interlaced, just like we did when we were in standing. Draw the elbows in towards one another. So see that the fingers are interlaced right over the tailbone and the elbows are hugging in towards one another. Begin to press down through the tops of the feet. So the tops of the feet are pressing down. Smooth the flesh of the buttocks towards the heels. Engage the belly here. And as you press down the buttocks flesh through the tops of the hands, begin to lift up the chest. Now glide the backs of the hands down the legs so the arms begin to straighten here. And begin to inhale. Float the heart up even higher. Crown of the head is elongating here all the way through the base of the pelvis. As you exhale, release the head on down and turn the head over to one side. At the center, interlace the fingers here. Opposite interlace. Take the fingers together. Hug those fingers in towards each other. Look down towards the mat. See that the elbows begin to face the ceiling. Feel the elbows drawing in. Feel the collarbones spreading wide apart. Feel the trapezius muscles moving down the spine. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest here. Smooth the flesh of the buttocks towards the backs of the heels. As you feel ready, begin to glide those arms back to straight. And maybe begin to float up the feet here. Shalambhasana pose or locust pose. As you exhale, lower that head on down and release the head to the opposite side. So take the hands to the mat. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest and heart. And as you spread across the fingers, exhale, begin to press those thighs back. Downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog pose. Good. From downward facing dog pose, you're going to look forward in between the hands. And then you're going to step the left foot in between the hands 3/4 of the way here. Take your hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest and come up. So now, grab hold of your strap and place your strap over your right shoulder. Okay. The strap's over the right shoulder. And then from here, you're going to take your right hand, you're going to glide your right arm up towards the ceiling. And you're going to take your right hand and grab hold of the strap. You're going to take your left hand, glide it out to the side, spin the left palm down to the mat. Bend that left elbow and grab hold of the strap here. Now see that the right elbow is drawing towards the ceiling. See that that left elbow is drawing down towards the floor. Begin to engage your core muscles here. And as you press through the pinky toe side of your right foot, begin to lengthen your right elbow forward. So right elbow lengthens forward. Left shoulder draws on back. Continue to breathe here. Keep lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. Good, and as you inhale, float the chest back on up. Parsvatonasana. From Parsvatonasana, inhale, float those arms up towards the ceiling as you bend more deeply into that left knee. Warrior One pose. Continue to wrap the outer triceps in. See that the left outer hip is hugging in towards the right. See that the right outer foot is pressing down. Feel the belly drawing in. As you exhale here, glide the hands down to the mat. Begin to step or lift up through your right leg. So once again, we're in that L-shaped pose. You're going to walk the fingers forward here. You're going to spread across the fingers and just lift up onto the left heel and lower that heel on down. And lift up through the left heel and lower that heel on down. And one more time, lift up through that heel, lower that heel on down. Release the right foot to meet the left at the top of the mat. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, releasing through the spine. Inhale, floating those arms up towards the ceiling. Utkatasana, chair pose. And straightening through those legs as you take the arms out and to the sides. Okay. Once again, inhale, sweeping those arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana arms. As you exhale, hinge and folding here. As you inhale, peeling through the chest, peeling through the heart, peeling through the sternum. Take your hands down to the mat. Begin to walk your feet back. Plank pose, top of a push-up. Top of a push-up pose, lower the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. So now you're going to crawl the hands forward into Sphinx pose. The right fingers interlace with the left fingers. The elbows are just directly underneath the shoulders here. Press down through the fingers, press down through the forearms, press down through the wrists. Hug the belly in. Squeeze in through the belly, squeeze in through the belly. And just see if you can lift the thighs up off the mat. You're on your knees here and you're squeezing in that belly. Good, and as you exhale, lower all the way down. Now, take your hands, take your knees rather, bend your knees here. You look towards the left leg, see that the left knee is bent. You look towards the right leg, see that the right knee is bent. And what I'd like you to do is spin your right elbow, your right arm 90 degrees. So your right hand is making contact with your left forearm. Place your right hand down on the mat. Place your right hand down on the mat. Now take your left hand, place your left hand to the top of the left leg. Turn the left foot down towards the floor as you begin to lift that left elbow crease up. Now, as you press down through the right thigh, begin to kick up the left leg and lift the chest here. Breathe as you look towards that left shoulder. Or breathe as you look forward. My apologies. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep lifting through the heart. And as you exhale, lower that leg on down. Lower the other leg on down as well. Okay, so one more time. We're going to turn this time our left leg in towards our right forearm. And then you're going to take your eyes, bring it towards the back of that leg, grab hold of the right foot, and spin the right foot down towards the mat. So the right heel is coming in contact with the right buttocks. Now kick that right leg back. Lift the chest. Lift the heart. Lift the sternum here. Keep kicking back through that leg as you lift up and forward. As you exhale, gliding that right leg on back, releasing that leg on down. One more time, interlace the fingers here, walk the toes in. This time, lift the hips up, lift the knees up, and walk the feet in as you find your way into Dolphin's pose. Press through the fingers, spread the forearms across the mat, release the head on down as you breathe here. Good, as you exhale, lower the knees all the way down. Hands come back down to the mat. Press down through the feet. Float the thigh bones up. Downward facing dog pose. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Take the right leg. Draw the right knee into the chest. And begin to extend the right leg out to the right side of the room. Just like this. You can remain here. Some of us are going to turn the left foot down and inhale, float that left arm up. So as you press that right hip, draw the right hip back into the body. Press the left thigh into the body. Allow the right scapula to draw up and into the chest. That's it. As you exhale, lower that left hand on down. Glide the right leg back. and release back into your downward facing dog pose. And again, on the opposite side, if you have the room, you're going to draw the left knee forward. You're going to take the left knee out to the side, left leg out to the side. You're going to turn onto the right ball of the foot. Inhale, float that right arm up, float that right arm up, float that right arm up. Keep lengthening the chest forward, keep breathing here. As you exhale, lower that right hand down and bring the left knee back to center. Downward facing dog. Release the knees down to the mat. And find your way into child's pose for a moment. Find your way into child's pose. Good. All right, from child's pose, you're going to take a pose called rabbit's pose. So one more time, you're going to interlace the hands behind the back. You know, actually, you could hold on to the heels here. And you're going to lean on forward, and you're really going to round the spine. So you're literally going to round the spine. The forehead is almost going to come in contact with the knees. That's how much you're going to round. And then you're going to lift up through those legs and allow the top of the head to release down to the mat. Walk the feet in. Walk the feet in. Press down through the calves. Press down through the shins. Breathe here. Keep pulling the shoulders away from the ears. As you inhale, lift and on up. Good. Have a seat on a block. So, you're going to take yourself into Virasana. This is called Virasana. Virasana's pose. Then, you're going to take your left leg and you're going to extend your left leg all the way forward, just like this. So, it's Art of Virasana. And you're going to walk your hands forward and you're going to release your hands down to that right leg and release your head on down. So, if you'd like here, what you can do is you can use a strap here as you take this pose. You're going to see that the left outer thigh revolves towards the right inner thigh. You're going to see that your right inner thigh revolves towards the left inner thigh. And you're going to walk those hands forward. Inhale, peel up the chest here. See if you can get a little bit more length. Drive the right outer hip in towards the right hip socket. Breathe here. Maybe grab hold of the foot as you begin to release the head on down. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest here. Good. And as you exhale, begin to bring that knee to a bend. Again, you're going to take the left leg, sweep it on forward, draw the right knee in, draw the right knee to a bend, and hug the right knee as close as possible towards the right hip. You're going to take your hands. You're going to see that the hands are in line with the chest. So keep lifting through the chest, keep lifting through the heart, keep lifting through the sternum. And then you're going to fold on forward. So keep walking those hands forward, keep walking those hands forward, keep walking those hands forward. So Ardha Virasana. You just release the head down. You don't need to have a block under the hips, but it's often helpful here. It's a great way to stretch out the backs of the legs. And walking on back again. Okay. Unbinding here. Taking your block, releasing it out to your side. Good. You're going to come onto your back and hug those knees into the chest again. And release those feet down onto the mat. So, as you feel ready here, and I know how keen we are on abdominal work, but we got to do a little bit more. Press down to the tops of the feet. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest as you place the hands behind the back of the head. From here, see that your shoulder blades hopefully are off the mat. Hug that belly in. Draw the right knee into the chest and take your elbows over towards that right leg. Come back to center and release that right foot down. Draw your left knee into the chest. See that both elbows are drawing towards the right leg. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower on down. Right knee comes to chest. Both elbows move to the right, back to center, and release it on down. Left knee to the chest. Both elbows draw over to the left, back to center. Draw it on down. One more time. Right knee draws in. Both elbows to the right, back to center. Draw it on down. Left knee. Both elbows, back to center. Draw it on down. Hug the knees into the chest. Take your left leg, cross it over your right leg here, okay? Grab hold of your outer ankles and begin to allow your buttocks flesh to lengthen along the back side of the mat. So the shoulder blades begin to spread wide apart. You can even bring your hands as far as your feet here as you keep those feet flexed. This is called Gomukhasana legs. So we already took Gomukhasana arms. Now we're taking Gomukhasana legs. Just breathing here into that left hip socket, allowing for both hip flesh to release away, allowing the center chest to draw in towards the spine. Good, and as you feel ready here, you'll uncross these legs, you'll recross them the opposite way, and we'll take the opposite side of the pose. So we'll grab hold of the feet here, you'll flex across the feet, and then you'll continue to breathe here as you allow those sit bones to release down towards the mat. You'll see that the chest is, you see that the belly is engaged, see that the eyes are closed. And breathe into those outer hip flexors. Okay. And then coming back to center as you hug those knees into the chest. From here, take a happy baby pose for a moment. See that those legs are lifting up. Heels are lengthening up towards the ceiling. Draw the tops of the shoulders down in towards the sides of the body. And breathe here. Hug that belly in. And then as you exhale, release the feet down onto the mat. Take the knees, roll over onto one side, and then begin to press your way on up. Okay, so we're going to find our way back onto a block. And it's not mandatory that you do this pose on a block. It's just, for me, it's a little bit more doable here on a block than without a block. So the left knee comes to a bend just like this, and the right leg comes on top. So we were just here a moment ago on the ground. And if the block is too high for you, then don't use it. Just place your buttocks on the ground. But you do want to see that the legs are stacked like this. So if the legs can't stack like this, then you need to use a block. Otherwise, it's not a good idea to take the pose. In this pose, the right hip is drawing back, the left hip is drawing forward. Both thighs are releasing down, the belly's engaged, the frontal hip bones right here, they're lifting up, belly's drawing in. And then from here, we take our arms. Now we're ready for the arms. So to combine both aspects of the pose, it actually becomes a rather somewhat complex pose. You take your left arm, you bring it over, or rather, I'm sorry. Yes, you take your left arm, you bring it over your left shoulder. I'm sorry, you bring the strap over the left shoulder, and then you bring the arms out to the sides. You can walk the hands back here to open up the chest. In this pose, this is a chest opening pose or a heart opening pose. As you feel ready, float the left arm up towards the ceiling here. Spin the left fingers to the back of the mat. Bend the left elbow, grab hold of the strap behind the left shoulder. Take the right arm, glide it out to the side. Spin the right thumb down, glide that hand on up, and grab hold of your strap. Now, draw the left elbow up towards the ceiling. Draw the right elbow down towards the mat. And see that the center chest is drawing in towards the spine. Very good. So continue to lengthen here as you breathe. And continue to allow for that left elbow to lift up as the right elbow draws down. Good. As you feel ready, you're going to take this strap, you're going to place it off to the side. You'll glide that right leg out. You'll glide the left leg forward, and then you'll change legs. So the right leg comes in this time. The left leg comes over top. So once again, the legs are in this Gomukhasana variation pose. And then you're going to take a strap and place the strap directly underneath your shoulder. As you place the strap over the shoulder here, you're going to lengthen through the chest. See that the hands walk back. See that the chest is lengthening. Inhale, float the right arm up. Spin the right hand back to the back of the room. Release the right palm on top of the right shoulder. Grab hold of that strap. Take the left hand back. Walk it up the strap. So see that both elbows are lengthening. Right elbow is drawing up towards the ceiling. Left elbow is drawing down towards the mat. Feel the belly hugging in. Continue to lengthen through the spine. So as you breathe here, you're allowing for those sit bones to release on down. The right elbow draws up. The left elbow draws on down. The belly hugs in. And continue to breathe. All right, let's release. So take this strap, place this strap on the side, uncross the legs, move your buttocks down, bring your knees into the center chest, release the feet on down, buttocks lifts up, roll the hips forward, release the body all the way down. So just begin to breathe here as you lengthen through the chest. Eyes are closed. And breath is long and slow. And as you feel ready here, just begin to bring those knees to a bend. Roll the body over onto your side. Begin to press your way on up and find your way into a simple cross-legged position. You can sit on a block if you want, or you can just sit on the ground. Sit on blankets. Take the hands into the center chest. Lift the head and release all the way down. Namaste, yogis. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have been enjoying these practices. Still have one more class today. So once again, if you're watching this on another platform, all of these classes are live streaming on Facebook. So please find your way over to my Facebook page. And that's a great way how to stay connected to the classes. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Be well, be happy. Namaste. Thank you, guys. And once again, guys, thank you guys so much. Hatha Yoga class, next one is going to be coming up on, well, not Friday because that's today, but the next class will be coming up on Monday. So our next class is going to be Monday, June the 22nd, 2020. And I hope that you guys can join us for that class. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the practices. If you're not already following, please hit the thumbs up sign on my Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be uploading all these videos onto YouTube as well. And let me know if you guys have any questions. I have a little Venmo QR if you feel like sending a Venmo. I'm always grateful for that. It's a great way to continue to build the practices. So have a wonderful day, yogis. Be well, be happy, my friends. And as I say, namaste. Thank you, guys.